Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to part 2 of the course with your friend JaKaTaK and his right hand on the mouse. And you might think, oh, that's normal. Not for a JaKaTaK. For a JaKaTaK, that's not what I'm used to. I'm used to my left hand on the mouse, so I'm learning this with you as a complete noob. Even with my mouse clicking on things, it is noob-like. And so, now, as I've entered in the mind of the noob, we enter in the practice of the noob. So the first thing we do is send out our Overlord to a nice little Overlord spot. Great. Then we're going to do our opening sequence. So we're going to hit Control-Alt or Control-Shift, depending on whether you have the Core Plus. The file is the same, but the Core Plus will just have some modifications. We're just going to go P, while holding, keep holding, O, I, semi, L, K, and then the next row down, slash, and then one more camera. I think it's going to be this space here, period. And if we did it right, which you want to check, we should be able to hit 098U and then control 098U for all of our cameras. Great. We're only going to be using our first 4 cameras for the most part, which is why on the Core 6 we've put them at single press access. Let's practice making some... Oh! I've already made a mistake. This is a play-along video, not a perfect little scripted wonderful video that I try to make a lot of the times. So all the mistakes will stay in. So one of the things that you can do is you can hit Control-Alt or Control-Shift depending on where you're thinking. I'm using the Core Plus, so mine will always be the Core Plus. And then M to add into the control group. Great. Great. Okay, and now, since we've amassed a bunch of money, we're not going to do a regular build order because we're too slow right now. We're just going to grab 4 workers. We're going to grab 4. Whoa, there we go. We're going to grab 4 workers. And we're just going to expand to the different bases that we just set cameras up for. This is not a good build order. Don't use it. We're using it to practice. We're also going to get a spawning pool because spawning pools are great. Allow us to get queens, and we're just going to add that in to our hatchery control group. Now we're going to go to our hatcheries, recenter the camera. So, Control-Alt, centers, and at the same time, we're going to press M and then O. And that's going to recenter our camera. So now we have 2 centered cameras right in the middle. Third camera, not centered. We're going to hit Control-Alt. We're going to hit M to add it to the control group. And then we're going to press I. Now we're going to go to the 4th camera by pressing U. Notice it's not centered. Control-Alt. Centers the selection. M adds to the control group. And then semicolon for the 4th camera. So, a little bit weird stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got it. Oh, Cannibal Sheep says I should put the keyboard on stream. Would have been a smart thing to do. Would have been a smart thing to do. I may end up making a newer, fresher version of this at one point. But this will be the down and dirty, sloppy, you're literally watching me learn it version. Gamer says a little bit weird. You know when someone using the course says that about hotkey layout, it's fucking weird. That's right. Definitely in the total weird situation. Alright, so we got our macro control group. We're going to build 4 queens. 5 queens, actually. We're going to have enough supply for that. Yes, we will. We're not going to be building any units. We're just going to practice our injects and spreading creep. And when that's really comfortable, and I'm getting it very consistently, and it's always right, it feels good, then we'll probably add an Overlord. So it'll be something like inject, spread the creep, build an Overlord. Overlords are probably more important, though. We probably want to do this in priority order. let's get our queens in position here. Having your queens in the same spot makes the inject method easier, especially with the centered cameras. And we're just going to shift over to our new location. I'm going to add this to our K control group. Put a tumor down. Whoops. Put a tumor down. Yeah, there we go. This is step 0, right? Yeah, pretty much this is step 0. It's been known by many names over the times. This is the most basic Zerg macro elements that you can do. And then we hit the creep queen, lay another creep tumor, spread the creep tumor that we had from last time, and now we're back. First knew this is level 0. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think a lot about how to play StarCraft and how to teach the very beginning parts, because the beginning parts of StarCraft are the hardest part. So here we are again. Shift over into that secondary position that we talked about before, and then back into the home position, and then we're going to spread some creep. Whoops. We just put our creep tumor in the trash control group on accident. Cool, not quite there yet. Not ready for a new inject yet, so that's good. We always want to beat the injecting queen. Nice, 13 energy. Cool. Let's try building an Overlord. Oh, we got a cheer. Thanks for the cheer. I'm doing this to see if you turned off stream notifications. No, I didn't. I didn't. Well, I didn't kind of do a little. Nice, we made it back. A little improvisation there. It's probably best to turn them off, yeah? We should probably turn them off. I don't actually know how. I could remove it from the scene, but I mean, I wanted to keep it for later times. We could duplicate the scene, perhaps. And now we're doing... Oh, right. So let's try to build the Overlord after we do the inject. It's a pretty good thing to do. And now let's spread the creep. Let's build an Overlord and spread the creep. Move the creep queen to a place where we need the creep. The high ground. Get back in time to inject. Build an Overlord and spread the creep. Whoop. Hold my old creep button. Press my old creep button. Oh, we're actually a little early. Be ashamed if someone scanned it. Yep, that's why we're learning now under pressure. Just a little bit at a time. Oh man, gotta press the right creep button. Yeah. Build an Overlord. Yep, let's focus on getting that right as well. Get that Overlord building good. Creep queen over here. Spread the creep. Now we're a little bit more freestyle. We're trying to feel out when the inject is. I think it's now. Build an Overlord. Start spreading the creep. Let's get the queen over here.
Command unacceptable.
I want to select in such an area where you don't have to move the camera. You click once. Nice. Couple energy early. Not bad. Oh, build an Overlord. That's the thing we didn't practice yesterday, so of course it's going to be the thing that's the weakest. We're just using the mini-map to find the places that need creep spread. We want to spread maximum distance. We want to use every inch of our screen whenever we can.
Command unacceptable.
Build
Cluster
Overlord.
expended.
Nice. It's important to do things slowly. Get them right the first time. Aha. We found a vacancy.
Mineral field depleted.
A little early. A little bit early. We are trying to build up that rhythm so we can just feel out when the inject is supposed to happen. Build an Overlord. 2 Overlords, why not? A lot of times as you get later into the game during the macro cycle, you'll end up building 2 Overlords instead of just 1. Not a problem. A little early again. We keep coming back around 22 energy. just run out of places to creep now. Build an Overlord or two. And what took us 47 minutes last time has now taken us about 16 or so minutes. We didn't really finish the full map last time. But this time we absolutely will. Because we're right here, aren't we? Invasion.
Mineral field exhausted.
Inject. Build a couple Overlords. Spread the creep. Now, shift queuing with an ability should be done with shift, the button, and then let go. This is one of the major weaknesses in my play. It's one of my bad habits. I just hold shift down. You don't need to. You just need to press it in the right order. You need to be accurate. Blizzard's done neutral creep. Ooh, 4 energy. I was looking at chat, not even thinking, and my fingers just naturally went to inject there. That was nice. And that's the idea. We want to build these rote tasks into our sort of background processing. So let's do Shift L. Cool. Control click.
Command unacceptable.
And that's it. Map is done. Great job. So let's do that again. I think Dalton is reacting to Blizzard testing neutral creep on maps. That has happened in the past. I think though it was only for islands. For something like that. I might have to look back in the deep recesses of the Liquipedia to find that stuff, but I remember it occurring. It might have been also, it could have been not a Blizzard experimentation. It could have been a GSL experimentation. So that I might have been slightly off when I said that. All right. Opening sequence. We click. Control Alt M to add to the control group, and then 1 just right in order. This one. This one. Okay. Oh. We missed the first one. Cool. All right. Let's build drones. Build an Overlord. Scout. Actually, let's get our Overlord into positions where make the creep easier. We know now the places where the creep stalls. So let's try to get that done. Build some drones. Build a gas. Build a spawning pool. Add that to the control group. Expand to the natural. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Already much better. Let's go back home. Start sending out our workers to the other bases. This is a very greedy play, but you know, if you can pull it off, that's not bad. Okay, and then we add into the recenter our cameras, do the expansion, recenter, add to the control group, and fix 3rd cam, 4th cam. We don't have enough money. Ah, so cool. So cool. Okay. Recenter. Add to the control group. Add to the control group. And right. Okay. We added to the correct control one. Uh-oh. Okay, now we're fine. We don't want to build this queen yet. Oh. Old habits die hard. My old cancel. I'm gonna get Overlord speed on accident all the time because this used to be my cancel key. You know what the crazy thing is? Here's the crazy thing. So I'm using the core with a right-hand mouse. Like I said in the beginning, I'm used to using the core with the left-hand mouse. But my muscle memory has somehow transferred over to my other hand in the mirrored position. Because I was just like, oh, I need to cancel, and I just hit cancel in the way that I would with this used to be, this is my mouse hand, keyboard hand now. It just did it with this hand. It was just like, hey man, here are all the muscle memories. Oh, thanks for the muscle memory. Fucking me up, man. That's wild, man. That's some science. All right, let's make some queens. Oh, we could have made that early queen, and that could be the creep queen. Learning. Adjusting the drill. We have a moment in time here where you can just sip your tea or whatever you have. And we're just gonna practice really trying to get that Overlord situation going strongly. Right after the inject, we'll do the Overlords. We'll do first inject will be from here because it has to be a lot of the time, and then we're gonna get our queens into position. Practice finding that shift key. Whoa! Practice finding that shift key. Next base. Next base. Back to home position, home position, home position. And then next base. We didn't recenter this camera. It's already in the control group, but we need to also press a semicolon. Okay. Okay. Build Overlord or two. I think we're just gonna do 2 Overlords. I think most of the game you end up building 2 Overlords in those kind of scenarios. Back home. Thought I had a wandering queen, but no, it was just the creep queen doing her job. I was like, man, those injects are going off. It's like they're catching up from before. Oh, I didn't build the Overlord. Let's really not forget building Overlords now. I mean, there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do. Don't forget building your Overlords now, JaKaTaK. It's going to be hard enough when you get in game. If you can't remember them now, you're definitely not going to remember them later. Come back to home position and build a couple of Overlords. Great. And we continue to spread the creep. 20 energy. All this extra time we will eventually fill with cool stuff. But for now, we're just trying to remember the basics. Do the right things. We can spread these overlords out to places like ramps. Let's go ahead and build an overlord or two and send them to places. And then spread the creep. Oh, send the overlords to places. Cool. Cool. Seems like a smart thing to do. The shift key. Getting the shift key for me is really tricky right now.
Mineral
Build an
field
overlord.
depleted.
And let's get one here. Oh, I guess it just does that. And here. And spread the creep. Get the creep queen over here. Just oh, that's a good way to do it. When I notice an area, I'll just use the creep queen and spread the creep there immediately. And she'll just do her thing as she's wandering about. Yeah, getting to the shift key is so weird. Don't know why. Build a couple overlords. Send them to places. Spread the creep. Whenever you see that jump, that's me pressing the wrong creep button. My old creep button is now the jump to base button. If you're learning from the 5.0 version, your old creep button is there too, so you will maybe making the same mistakes that I am. I have to do a double inject here because he messed up. Also, again, we are practicing our mouse accuracy as we do this, so
Unacceptable.
it's not a totally lost situation as far as efficiency goes of practice. You aren't resetting, you're practicing. You're using mechanical skills. That was pretty much right on the money.
Command unacceptable.
Oh god, it didn't make it over. Nice, 23. Oh, gamers reminding me that I didn't build an overlord. Also missed this inject.
Mineral field exhausted.
Oh, that was not the right thing to do. We're learning, practicing, making mistakes. Thanks, gamer, for helping out in the stream. Appreciate it. It's easy to notice. I mean, it's easy to not notice, excuse me. Little things like that when you miss stuff. Mark it off. There you go. Now you can jump over. Remember to spread the creep.
Mineral cluster expended.
Overlord or two. Spread the creep. I had a thought for a moment there. I know, it's crazy. What's going on? I got lost. It's like, where's my creep spread? Build the Overlords. Spread the creep. Alright, I need to slow it down a bit. Getting excited as improvements are occurring. Alright, let's do a shift.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field exhausted. Mineral cluster expended.
Sit up straight. Don't forget to sit up straight. Your spine needs to send signals to your hands to do their work. And if your spine's not straight, it can't do its job. If it can't do its job, then you're in deep, deep trouble. I think that's it. Pretty much there. And Overlords. Always built the Overlords.
Command unacceptable.
Overlords.
Command unacceptable.
Cool. Repetition is the path to mastery. If everyone asks what map control is, just show them a screenshot of this map. 44 seconds faster. Yeah. Look. Oh, it's so cool. I didn't realize it would I forgot when you rewind, it already has the whole thing loaded, so it does this whole. Isn't that fun? Okay. All right, so we're making some mistakes in skipping the Overlord part, and then sometimes after the Overlord part, we go right back to the inject. We gotta go inject, Overlord, creep. Inject, Overlord, creep. All right, Let's get this opening sequence down. Southern Gamer's going to mark all the times I forget Overlords. Awesome. Thank you, Southern Gamer. For those of you watching on YouTube, this recording occurred live on twitch.tv/JaKaTaKtv. You could be part of this next video by just tuning in. Think about it. Let's take command. Oh my god, we won again. It's amazing. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and we should build an Overlord. And some drones. I'm not brave enough to try an extractor trick right now. We're just gonna build an extractor. And an expansion. And a spawning pool at some point. Send workers to all the other bases. Reset this guy in the center. Good. 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 Reset this in the center. We have nowhere near the minerals we had last time. Nice. So our beginning portion is getting faster. Very good. Very good. Let's build some drones. We actually need the income. We can actually spend the income, if you can believe it. Oh, we should probably set rallies for these guys when we do this too. That's probably a good habit to get into. Wow. Now we're gonna have to start like being reasonable with the build order all of a sudden. What's that all about? We thought it would never happen, but here it is. We actually don't have enough money to take 4 bases out of nowhere. The funnest part about starting over from scratch is that the improvements you make from game to game are just gigantic. And if you don't trivialize them and you're like, oh, but it's so bad, and you just compare yourself to yourself, it's very exciting because you're improving by leaps and bounds. All right, recenter the cam, add it into the correct control group, and whoops, recenter. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's centered, right? Yeah. Good. And we can go ahead and get a queen. Gotta remember we can get a queen right away for creep spread. As soon as the spawning pool is done, we can start spreading creep. We can practice expanding while spreading creep too, so we can smooth things out. Yeah, once we're doing the full sequence, that's when the Overlord habit is getting built in. Oh, and add this guy in, because eventually we're going to want to get Zergling speed. If you're not a Zerg, if you haven't Zerged before, Zergling speed is the most important upgrade in the whole game. Okay. We're going to do extreme creep spread. Okay, so we need to build our injecting queens. We're not going to spread the creep. We're just going to lay our the beginning, the trailheads, if you will, the beginning of all the paths, or as many of the paths as we can before the Queen's Hatch. All right, Queen Hatch is coming. We're ready for it. We're in home position, and then we select, and as we shift over, we go into this position, come back into the macro control group to build a couple overlords, send them to locations on the map, spread the creep, and come back. Let's get this queen back into position. All right. Getting the queens in position is its own little sequence. And build a couple overlords. Send them out. And then we come in to the spreading of the creep. That's the next path there. Inject, 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 inject. Build a couple overlords. Send them to various places on the map. Spread creep. And after this, we're going to try to get our queens into position. This base. Third base. Oh no. Third base. Fourth base. Back home. Oof. Okay, cool. And build a couple overlords. Send them to various places upon the map. And then spread the creep. That's not the creep button. That's not the creep button. I just saw that my queen has energy. Let's get this creep queen to set up a couple more. Whoops. It's Shift L. That's how it's done. Shift queuing commands has like always been really weak for me. We gotta do a double inject. Build overlords. Trying to send them to different places on the map, but it looks like I have my spots that I like. And then spread the creep. Oops. Spread the creep with L. Build a couple overlords. Send them to places upon the map. You can kind of tell which creep tumor is ready to go by looking at the mini-map. A little early there.
Mineral field exhausted.
Way early, way early. Oh boy.
Command unacceptable.
Not early now though. 6 energy, not bad. You can always tell how close you are when you look at the last queen, how much energy it has after she injects.
Mineral field depleted.
Little early. We ran out of places to spread creep. Which shouldn't be happening because it's only going to increase over time. Looks like we left a tumor behind.
Mineral cluster expended.
Oh, I forgot to build Overlords, I think. I did. What's up, Deep and Fast? Very suggestive name. We're gonna build some Overlords. Spread them out. And get that creep spread going all across the land. Try to click on the creep tumors. Don't get lazy in box. That's something I noticed I've been doing. You don't need to do it. You don't need to box. You can just click on them. It's not that hard. You're a StarCraft player. You can do it. So I'm noticing some of my bad habits here. Trying to clear them up. I just made a box there. Totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary.
Command unacceptable.
Made a box there too. These boxes we're supposed to make. Overlords. Send them out. Shift click. Put them somewhere else. Spread the creep. Ah, I boxed it again. I just realized how much I've been boxing.
Command unacceptable.
Click on things. Build a couple Overlords. Send them to places on the map. Spread the creep.
Mineral field depleted.
Little early. Little early. Little early. Oh. Got off my home position there for a second. Build a couple Overlords. Send them to various locations on the map. Increase the vision. Win the video game.
Command unacceptable.
I guess we can clean this up a little bit. We have a little bit of painting to do. We're just painting the map. I got a lot of time. Just painting the map with creep. We are Harold with the purple crayon. We're just painting the map with creep. Miss anywhere? I guess we could go out here a little bit. That's pretty creeped. Yeah, knowing where the airspaces are on the map is definitely a good shout. Sending Overlords to airspace is definitely good. Overlord, like this airspace perhaps. It's probably good to know the different places on the map where.
Command unacceptable.
With the wave of my rapid fire,
Unacceptable.
we're good to go. I might have forgot Overlords there.
Exhausted.
No, I don't think I did. Overlords. here. Over here. Control click.
Command unacceptable. Command unacceptable. Mineral
17
cluster
energy.
expended.
Pretty good.
Mineral field exhausted. Command unacceptable.
Cool. 15 minutes. Not bad. All right. I'm going to take a short little break here. The core reminds me of the sauce they use in coleslaw. Mayonnaise? The core reminds you of mayonnaise? Tell me more. I want to see how this connection occurs. I feel like I need to know. I need to know how that connection occurs, man. All right, all right. We practice. We improve. We do it again. First Overlord. Grab this ramp. Grab this ramp. Extractor trick. Oh yeah. Oh, it's happening. We're kind of doing a build. It's kind of happening. It's just happening. I'm not even, it's just occurring, man. And then we build workers. Build workers. Of course we build workers. Nice. It's a little tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it. Cool. Let's get a third base. And fourth base. And, oh, we can make use of our new rapid fire Overlord. Awesome. And we can make the queen right away. Oh, we can make queen. We can build an expansion and recenter it at the third base. We can click here, make an expansion, recenter it, add it, and that's the fourth base. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right in the middle. The first queen's on the way. Oh man. Rapid fire Overlord. That's right, be a menace. By binding select larva to your Overlord key, when you don't have larva, you can just hold the Overlord button down, and as soon as the larva pops, bam, you'll have an Overlord. Just like that. Incredible. In-fucking-credible. You can also do it with every single other unit in the game. It does mean that your layer key ends up being pretty far away, but I think it's a pretty great trade. I use it for almost all my units, except for maybe, I think, Viper and Infester. I think those are the two exceptions that I make. in the core and in my own layout, which is the core. Still haven't finished building all of our stuff yet. Not quite there. All right, 4th hatch is up. 4 queens for injecting. We're gonna click on the creep tumors, okay? Click on them. We're not gonna box them. We're not selecting 2 things. That's what boxes are for, okay? Boxes are for selecting 2 things. If you know 2 things to select, you click on the fucking thing. Don't be a lazy slob, okay? Use the cameras to inject. Let's reposition. And then build a couple overlords. I want to send them to key locations on the map for a creep spread. And we want to spread the creep. Oh, it feels good. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oops, forgot to add this to a control group. Where are you going next? Probably more over here. Ah, still not ready to jump. Queens you want to box because they have selection priority. And you might accidentally be having some overlords over there, which is fine. I'll go right there. 20 energy, so a little bit early.
Field depleted.
Don't box it. Okay. Build overlords. Oh, I haven't been building overlords like this whole time, I think. Oh man. Go over here and spread the creep. Overlords and spread the creep. Spread the creep.
Mineral cluster expended. Command unacceptable. unacceptable.
Getting some
Mineral
crowding.
field depleted.
Let's go ahead and practice sending some workers over to the other base. Build some overlords. Spread the creep. I think it's time to inject. It is. Getting that automatic task set up in the background. Make it like breathing, make it like walking down the street and talking to your friend. That's what the proper multitask level is. To make it so that it's automatic.
Command
So
unacceptable.
you can do it without really even thinking about it. We're already getting faster. And we need to go here. Shift. Overlords. Fucked it up.
Command unacceptable.
Build some overlords.
Mineral field exhausted.
We got some time. Some overlords.
Command unacceptable.
Oh, 22. We got back early. Just keep practicing. It takes time. It takes repetition over time to be good. And you don't want to practice this stuff when you're getting cannon rushed. You're just gonna fuck it up. You know you will. I know you will. It's just how it happens. It's okay.
Command unacceptable.
I'm actually gonna go back and fill in some gaps. I'm gonna continue to color in the map with creep. That shift key is getting more and more automatic, closer to
Command unacceptable.
comfort.
Command unacceptable.
These guys are basically dead. You're dead to me. You're being left behind.
Swarm has evolved. Unacceptable.
Fill in the blank.
Mineral field exhausted.
Quickly. Quickly.
Command unacceptable. Mineral cluster expended.
Press the wrong button there. Oops.
Mineral field depleted. Command unacceptable.
All right. Just under 15 minutes. Not too bad. That'll about round up our practice for today. So in our first session, we just did creep and injecting. In our second session, we added the building of overlords. If I had to do it again, if I had to suggest a way for players to do it better, I would say do the overlords first. I would say just do injects and overlords, and then put creep after that. I think that's the way to do it. And maybe, because the next step is going to be adding and building units. It'll first be Zerglings, but then we'll move on to roaches. And then once you learn how to max out on roaches, you can pretty much get into Platinum League, which is what we're going to attempt to do.
Exhausted.
We'll grab a fresh account and just do the Roach Max build on ladder. We're going to go through the AI ladder first to warm up, and then we'll hit the regular ladder, and yeah, that'll be it. So I mean, maybe about 2 hours of total practice so far, and I feel like the inject is down. The creep spread's okay. I would say it's okay, and the overlords are, that's the new element, so it's kind of like okay. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's not like okay, it's like less than okay. So session 2 is finished. I hope you will join me with the third session tomorrow. See you later.